Hello, my name is Chen. I'm one of the co-founders of the Grade Network, and today I'm going to show you what you do after a grader completes grading your assignment and uploads it back to the system. Okay, so I'm going to start by logging in to my account. Okay, and the first thing to notice is that once the grader completes the assignment, it will no longer show up in the main area, but it will be in this new tab called Awaiting Review. So I'm going to click there and you should see your assignment pop up there. So this is an assignment where students had to diagnose a patient using data to say whether or not they had diabetes. So I had that graded a couple of days ago and the grader has finished the grading. So I'm going to click in. And if you scroll to the bottom where it says download student work, that is now going to have the completed work that the grader has done. So just click on that and it will download whatever the grader's done. So I'm going to open that to show you what it looks like. All right. So what I have requested is that students get an individual grade sheet. Let's look at the individual grade summaries. So this will have all of the students by name. And I had the grader grade based on these 6 sections of the assignment and give an overall grade as well as comments. So I can look this over to see, does that make sense? Does it make sense that Aaron got a perfect score? Yes, I know that makes sense. Bart didn't do too well. Okay, that's consistent with his prior performance as well. Review some of the comments. So kind of take a look at this to make sure everything matches up with my expectations. Then I'm going to take a look at the overall class summary. So this is something that the graders do to give you a sense of overall how the class did. So here I can see, okay, out of 60, the average grade was 52.5. That's not too bad. And this is interesting. If I look at all the different sections of my assignment, I noticed that, the students did pretty well in all of the sections except for the second diagnosis. And I know that this part, they had to say whether the patient had type 1 or type 2 diabetes. So maybe that's an area where students are confused about. So tomorrow or sometime this next week, I might go back and reteach that point. All right, so then the next part is I can see who did the best and who maybe needs some support. And then lastly, I can see some general comments. So overall, my students did great with graphing, and they also understand the 2 key concepts of homeostasis and insulin. Great. And then this is what I noticed above as well. So areas for growth is that students struggled with the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So, showing how you can go ahead and use this data to inform your instruction and adjust your lesson planning going forward. Okay, but now the question is, what do the students get back? So in this sense, this template has created individual grade sheets for each student. Again, I requested this when I created the assignment. So now you can see for each student, I have a different sheet down here. If I click through the different tabs, that has their grade breakdown as well as the comments. And so what I can do is I can take, let's say, student 1 through student 5, right? So I can select all of them just by holding down Shift and clicking on student 1 first, and then Shift student 5. I can select that whole group, and I can just print it out and give it back to each student. So again, this is different if you select grade directly on student work. This would be individual grade sheets I can print out and give back to them. Okay, great. Now let's go back to the system. Okay, so thinking about that, looking through that, I thought, everything's pretty good. If you notice some kind of issues, you might request a revision from the grader. But today I'm just going to show you, everything's all good. I'm going to approve it. Okay, so approve it. You should see this pop up where you can leave the grader some feedback. Okay, here it's open to the public, so I'd say great job with the assignment. The grader was very thorough in his comments, and the overall class summary was very helpful. And if you have any additional notes, you can kind of leave them here that are not visible to the public. Okay, so I don't have any today, but you could theoretically put something in there. And then now I would go ahead and rate them. So, I think accuracy of grading seems to make sense. Quality of feedback, very good. The timeliness, they actually completed ahead of the due date, so I'm going to give them a 5. Responsiveness, this refers to how quickly they responded to any messages. So I didn't send them any messages. I'm going to give them a 5, and overall rating 5. So this person did a great job. And then I'm going to click submit. Oh, this is actually a required field. So I might say no additional notes. Okay, and I'm going to click submit. And that assignment was approved successfully. And now you'll notice that it's no longer in awaiting review. It is actually moved to completed. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.